lecture we discussed law of mass action and active mass, and what is the active mass for the solids, liquids, okay, solutions, and for the gases. Okay, so in this lecture let us discuss the derivation of equilibrium constant. Very important. Okay, if you understand how to write equilibrium constant, so 50% of the equilibrium chapter is finished. Okay, so very simple. So now let us consider a general reversible reaction. M1A1 plus M2A2 plus and so on gives N1B1 plus N2B2 plus and so on. Okay, so here whatever it is the number of reactants or whatever it is the number of products formed, we can write the equilibrium constant. Okay, so here two terms we are taking, and product side also we are considering two products. Okay, so this A1, A2 are the different types of reactants, B1, B2 are the different types of products. Here M1, M2 represent how many moles of A1 is present, how many moles of A2 is present, like that. Okay, means they are the stoichiometric coefficient. Same here also N1, N2, N3 and so on, they are the stoichiometric coefficients of the particular product. Okay, now see in this reversible reaction, so this is the forward reaction and this is the backward reaction. Yes or no? Now let us write those two separately. Okay, if you write separately forward reaction and backward reaction, what is forward reaction? M1A1 plus M2A2 and so on gives N1B1 plus N2B2 and so on, right? And what is the backward reaction? N1B1 plus N2B2 plus and so on gives M1A1 plus M2A2 and so on. Yes or no? This is the forward reaction and it is the backward reaction. We are writing those two equations separately. Okay, forward reaction and backward reaction. Now here for forward reaction, okay, FR is forward reaction and BR is backward reaction. Let us apply law of mass action for the forward reaction as well as backward reaction. What is law of mass action? Simply the rate of a reaction is directly proportional to the active masses, product of the active masses of the reactants, with each term raised to the power of its stoichiometric coefficient. Okay, so now if you apply law of mass action here, rate of forward reaction, RF means rate of forward reaction, is directly proportional to active mass of the reactant A1 into another reactant A2. Okay, product of active masses of the reactants and each reactant. So stoichiometric coefficient is here M1. So active mass of A1 whole power M1, active mass of A2 whole power M2. So now similarly into active mass of A3 whole power M3 and so on. Okay, next here rate of forward reaction, rate of backward reaction is directly proportional to RB, means rate of the backward reaction is, see this is the backward reaction, right? So active mass of B1 whole power N1 into active mass of B2 whole power N2 and so on. Okay, so rate of forward reaction and rate of backward reaction. Now if we remove this one, we get a proportionality constant, that is RF equal to Kf into active mass of A1 whole power M1, active mass of A2 whole power M2 and so on. Okay, so what is this Kf here? This is forward reaction rate constant. Okay, Kf is forward reaction rate constant. See here, this rate constant already we explained in the chemical kinetics. Okay, so Kf is forward reaction rate constant, and here we can write, if you remove this proportional, we get a constant, that is rate of backward reaction equal to Kb into active mass of B1 whole power N1, active mass of B2 whole power N2 into and so on. Okay, so what is Kb here? Kb is backward reaction rate constant. Okay, backward reaction rate constant. Kf is forward reaction rate constant and Kb is backward reaction rate constant. Okay, so now at equilibrium what is the condition? Rate of forward reaction equal to rate of backward reaction. Yes or no? Rate of forward reaction equal to rate of backward reaction at equilibrium. Now let us substitute these expressions in that one. Okay. So now let us substitute here. Rate of forward reaction equal to Kf into active mass of A1 whole power m1 into active mass of A2 whole power m2 and so on. That is equal to RB equal to Kb into active mass of B1 whole power n1 into active mass of B2 whole power n2 and so on. Okay. Now if we rearrange this equation, we get, take this Kb this side and this entire term take to the right side. So now we get Kf by Kb. Okay, Kf by Kb. That is equal to Ka, equilibrium constant in terms of active mass. Okay, so Kf by Kb is nothing but Ka. Equilibrium, simply equilibrium constant is denoted by K, and in different terms, in terms of active mass, in terms of molar concentration, we can express, that we discuss now. Okay, so we are rearranging this equation. Okay, Kf by Kb. Kb take this left side and this entire term take to the right side. Okay, so Kf by Kb is nothing but a new constant, that is Ka. Okay, so that is equal to active mass of B1. See, this we are taking this side and this is left, right? Active mass of B1 whole power n1 into active mass of B2 whole power n2 and so on. Okay, divided by this term we are taking to the right side, this entire time. So active mass of A1 whole power m1 into active mass of A2 whole power m2 and so on. Okay, so this is the expression for the equilibrium constant. Okay, so very simple. Okay, see this one, Kf by Kb equal to Ka. Okay, so in this way also problems can be asked. They will provide forward reaction rate constant and backward reaction rate constant and ask you to find what is the equilibrium constant. So equilibrium constant equal to forward reaction rate constant by backward reaction rate constant. Okay, and also Ka represents, okay, active mass. A is active mass, so Ka is equilibrium constant. Okay, equilibrium constant in terms of active mass. Okay, equilibrium constant in terms of active mass, Ka means. So product of active masses of the products. Yes or no? In this reversible reaction, see, these are the active masses of the products. Yes or no? And every product is raised to the power of its stoichiometric coefficient. Similarly, by product of active masses of the reactants. Okay, clear? So this is the derivation of equilibrium constant. First we are taking a general reaction. We are writing forward reaction and backward reaction. For the backward reaction, we have written rate equation. Yes or no? Rate law. We have applied law of mass action to the forward reaction and to the backward reaction. Okay, and here after writing this one, at equilibrium, this is the essential condition at equilibrium. Yes or no? Forward reaction rate equal to backward reaction rate. Okay, so after substituting these two and after rearranging, we are getting this relation. Okay, now let us see equilibrium constant can be expressed in terms of molar concentration and in terms of partial pressures also, that we see now. Okay, now let us see equilibrium constant. Okay, in the different forms. Okay, so this already we derived. Suppose if we are considering molar concentrations. Okay, so instead of active mass, if you are using molar concentrations, already we discussed for the dilute solutions, active mass equal to molar concentration. Yes or no? So in that case, we can write Kc equal to, okay, Kc equal to molar concentration of B1 whole power n1 into molar concentration of B2 whole power n2 and so on. So no, in the place of active mass, we are substituting molar concentration. Okay, so by molar concentration of the A1 whole power m1 into molar concentration of A2 whole power m2 and so on. Okay, so now what is Kc here? This Kc is nothing but equilibrium constant. Okay, equilibrium constant in terms of molar concentration. Okay, equilibrium constant in terms of molar concentration. Okay, similarly we can write Kp equal to, okay, Kp equal to, so equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressures. Okay, already we discussed for ideal gases active mass equal to partial pressure. Okay, so in the place of active mass we can substitute partial pressure. So partial pressure of products B1 whole power N1 into partial pressure of B2 whole power N2 and so on by partial pressure of A1 whole power M1 into partial pressure of A2 whole power M2 and so on. Okay, so this is Kp, equilibrium constant in terms of partial pressures. Okay, clear? Simple. If you know this one, in the place of active mass we are substituting molar concentration depending upon the information provided in the problem. Okay, and see this Kc is applicable for both gas and liquid reactions, but this Kp is only applicable for the gaseous reactions. Okay, so next, equilibrium constant can be expressed in terms of mole fraction also. Okay, equilibrium constant can be expressed in terms of mole fraction also. In that case, mole fraction of B1 whole power N1 into mole fraction of B2 whole power N2 and so on by mole fraction of A1 whole power M1 into mole fraction of A2 whole power M2 and so on. Okay, so this is equilibrium constant in terms of, okay, equilibrium constant in terms of mole fraction. Okay, so depending upon the information we can use, see if suppose mole fraction of the reactants and products are given and ask you to find the equilibrium constant directly, we can use this relation. Okay, and also Kn, okay, equilibrium constant in terms of number of moles. So here number of moles of B1 whole power N1 into number of moles of B2 whole power N2 and so on by number of moles of A1 whole power M1 number of moles of A2 whole power M2. Okay, so this is equilibrium constant expression in terms of, okay, in terms of number of moles. Okay, so depending upon the given information you can use any of the relation. Okay, if active masses of reactants and products are given, use this relation. If molar concentrations of the product and reactant are given, use this relation. And if partial pressure, that is if gas phase reaction is present, in that case they will provide the partial pressures. Okay, so if mole fraction is given, this relation. If number of moles are given, use this relation. And also one of the most important thing here, you should remember that, see, these are the active masses of products at equilibrium. Remember that after attainment of equilibrium or after establishing the equilibrium only we are taking all these values. Okay, so active mass of both products and reactants at equilibrium, or in this one, these are the molar concentrations of the reactants and products at equilibrium, not the initial concentrations. Okay, that is very important thing here. Okay, you should keep in your mind these concentrations are equilibrium concentrations, not the initial concentration. Same here, partial pressure of products and reactants at equilibrium, mole fraction of the products and reactants at equilibrium, and these are the number of moles of products formed and number of moles of reactants present at equilibrium. Okay, so the concentration or partial pressure or active mass or partial pressure or number of moles, whatever we are taking, remember that they are equilibrium values only. Okay, so in the next lecture we discuss the relationship between Kp and Kc. Okay, Kp and Kx, Kp and Kn. Okay, those relations also very important. Those we discuss in the next lecture. Okay, thank you.